I don't think so. I have done everything that I could. Of course, there are mistakes along the way, but I don't think that my intent was ever in the wrong place when it came to playing cricket. I wanted to win at any cost from the day I started playing this game, from the day I started playing club cricket, school cricket, then state cricket, heading up to first class cricket, and then eventually getting to play for India and IPL as well afterwards. My mindset was the same always, which is play to win and at any cost. So that hasn't changed ever. I always had this belief that I can do something special for the team, but I was not. But you obviously have your own skill sets as well. So I felt like the composition of that team, where there were amazing players and rightly so in the right positions, I was not able to play in the position that was my strength. And for the first 3 years, it was on and off, more like a scratch for me, a performance here, a performance there. It wasn't as free-flowing and as consistent as I would have liked it to be, because I was playing at number 3 for India and I wasn't getting to do that in the IPL. So it was a bit of a strange situation for me, because I felt like I can replicate my India performances here and maybe better if I get the opportunity. And I remember, I think it was Ray Jennings at the time, coach, and Sid, who approached me. I remember we were playing the Champions League in South Africa, and shortly after that were the retentions gonna take place. So Ray Jennings and Sid came and they said, we want to have a chat with you. We are looking to retain only you from next year onwards, and we'll build a totally new squad. And I was like, that's great. That's the opportunity I'm looking for. But I told them very clearly, there's only one condition. I will only bat at number 3 and nowhere else. They said, fair enough. And I knew that I can do something special for the team. And I had no problem accepting that responsibility and for the team to feel like, yes, they can count on me. At the end of the day, everyone has X number of years that they live, right? And then you die, and then life moves on. And there would have been many great people who won trophies and this, that, and blah, blah, blah. But no one addresses you like that. No one addresses you in the room like, oh, he's an IPL champion or he's a World Cup champion. And it's like, if you're a good person, people like you. If you're a bad guy, they stay away from you. And eventually that's what life is all about. Most of the cricket players you see come from backgrounds which are not as privileged in terms of, having facilities ready and stuff to use at any time you want. So you have to work through the ranks and you have to work really hard. So it just gives you a new motivation in life that, yes, what I'm doing is going to reap me the rewards, which I believe should be the case when you've chosen it as a career. It disappoints me. I would say that we had opportunities where we came close. But look, at the end of the day, I wouldn't call it luck, because the opposition's there to play as well. And if they were better on the day, you have to accept it. We have to accept the fact that the reason why we have not won is because we haven't probably been as courageous or as clear in our plans as we should have been, in those crunch moments. And yes, you could say that the odds were stacked against us in terms of the expectations were only for us to win and all that, but you have to deal with those expectations. You can't run away from them. You can't say, oh, I'm the underdog and let's see what happens every game. Stuff doesn't work like that. We all love playing for our country. Obviously, that's the most important thing. But at the end of the day, you have to realize that the next lot also has to come through, and they have to be tested as well. So finding space for that possibility to take place is also very important, because then you're thinking progressively. Then you're thinking about, okay, fine, these guys are playing today, but the reality is that we will not be playing one day. So do you have another set of 15 people who are ready to win games for India and not have a dip for a year and a half, 2 years, where you're feeling like, oh, what's going on here? It's very easy to ignore that, and it's very easy I can understand there are many obligations, there are sponsors and whatnot, but at the end of the day, you have to plan in a progressive manner. Obviously, the sponsors would want the big names to play every series, but that's not humanly possible. So there has to be some kind of balance, I would say, between the two. I'm not someone who would hold on to things more than I should. Even if I know I can do a lot more, but I'm not going to enjoy that process, I'm not going to do it. Because it's very difficult to make a decision, or sorry, if I may put it this way, for people to understand your decisions unless they are in your situation. Right? From the outside, people have their own expectations. How did that happen? We are so shocked. There's nothing to be shocked about. I explained to people that I wanted some space and I wanted to manage my workload, and the story ends there. Now you can create 10,000 stories in your head that there's some reasons and there must be something going on, and fine, that runs your show, that's okay. And people love having those conversations which are fantastical, and eventually they realize they were just wasting their time. There was actually nothing at all. And I keep my life very simple and basic. When I wanted to make a decision, I made a decision and I announced it. I didn't want to think about it and contemplate it for another year and a half. That would have done nothing to me, nothing to the environment I'm part of. So quality of life is something very important to me, and quality of cricket is something very important to me. Over a period of time, yes, you want to do what you're doing day in, day out, and you want to do as much as you can. But at the end of the day, you have to realize that quality is far more important than quantity. Quantity in hard work, but quality in execution. That is the key. Because if you go for quantity in execution, then you're going to get burnt out. And as much as you love playing the sport, and as much as you love being intense on the field, if you can't do that, for me, that's very important. If I can't be myself in my everyday life, and if I can't be myself on the field, I will change something, because that is who I am. That is the reason where I am where I am, and that is the reason why people can connect to me at a certain level. And people, my loved ones, people who are close to me, my friends, they connected to me because of that factor, because I've always been myself. So I cannot be doing something that I'm not enjoying and being miserable every day of my life and just wasting such precious time. You have one life, you have to live it absolutely to the fullest and be happy every day. For me, the understanding that the loyalty with RCB, like how I follow my life, is far greater for me than the fact that, yes, 5 people in the room would say, oh, finally you've won the IPL with whoever XYZ, and yeah, you feel good for 5 minutes, but then the 6th minute you could be miserable with some other issue in life. So it is not the end of the world for me. What this franchise has given me in terms of opportunity in the first 3 years and believed in me, that is the most special thing. Because as I said, there were many teams who had the opportunity, but they didn't back me, they didn't believe in me. So now when I'm successful and I should fall to the opinion of people saying, but the IPL. This was the case with me till 2018 England tour happened. For 4 years of my life, I was doing well everywhere in the world. The only thing was but England. So there's always going to be buts. You literally can't live your life like that. And I just carry on doing my own thing, and I actually honestly don't even bother about a third person beyond myself, Anushka, discussing things and just being true to ourselves, and that's it. For me, nothing else or no one else's opinion matters at all.